Class A power amplifier. So what is the meaning of Class A power amplifier? So it is an amplifier in which the transistor bias and the amplitude of the input signal is such that output current flows for complete cycle of the input signal. So power amplifier एक ऐसा एम्पलीफायर है जिसमें जो ट्रांजिस्टर का बायस है और ट्रांजिस्टर का जो एम्पलीट्यूड है इनपुट सिग्नल का, वो कुछ इस तरह से होता है कि आउटपुट करंट हमेशा 360 डिग्री के लिए फ्लो करता है विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू इनपुट सिग्नल। मींस जो भी हमें आउटपुट मिलेगा वो कंप्लीट साइकिल मिलेगा ऑफ द एसी इनपुट। सो लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड दिस यूजिंग अ simple input and the output waveform. So quickly I will draw the input and the output waveform. So here I have drawn the sine wave as an input signal. This is an amplifier with a voltage gain AV, and this is the output waveform. So if we observe the input and the output waveform, we find that the output is exactly similar in shape as that of the input. Here the input is of 360 degree. The one complete cycle of the AC input is 360 degree, or we can say it in radian as 2 pi. Similarly, the output is a complete one cycle of 360 degree, and in radians it is 2 pi. Half cycle is pi and 1/4 will be pi by 2. Means here it is 90 degree, then it is pi by 2, and so on and so forth. Here it is 3 pi by 4. So the point is, whatever input we are giving, the same will be the output. So this input is given to the transistor amplifier or any other type of amplifier. So this is about the class A power amplifier. The output will always follow the input, and there will be complete cycle, positive cycle, negative cycle, 360 degree. So हम लोग जो भी इनपुट में देंगे वैसा ही आउटपुट हमें मिलेगा। यहाँ पे इनपुट में पॉजिटिव हाफ साइकिल है, नेगेटिव हाफ साइकिल है, तो आउटपुट में भी पॉजिटिव हाफ साइकिल और नेगेटिव हाफ साइकिल दोनों मिलेगी। ये है हमारा पॉजिटिव हाफ साइकिल, ये है हमारा नेगेटिव हाफ साइकिल, ये है हमारा पॉजिटिव हाफ साइकिल, ये नेगेटिव हाफ साइकिल। So this is about the definition of a power amplifier. Once again I will repeat, power amplifier is an amplifier in which the output current flows for a complete cycle of the input signal. Output current flows for a complete cycle of the input signal. Means if I make a comparison between the input and the output waveform like this, then we will obtain the same output as that of the input. So this is our output. These outputs and this output both are same. So this is our definition of class A power amplifier. Now we will draw the circuit diagram and we will try to understand the working of the class A power amplifier. Now here I have drawn the circuit diagram for a class A power amplifier, and this is the waveform, or we can show it is a diagrammatic representation of AC load line. So this is AC load line, and this AC load line and this point is a Q point. I want to mark this center point is a Q point. So this is a representation of maximum output for a class A amplifier. So this is the collector to emitter voltage on the x-axis and the collector current on the y-axis. Okay, so we'll again come back to this diagram. So this diagram is a common emitter amplifier, basically a common emitter amplifier, and a common emitter amplifier is a class A power amplifier. Now this class A power amplifier is also called as direct coupled class A power amplifier. Why it is called as direct coupled class A power amplifier? Because we want to distinguish it from the transformer coupled amplifier. Means here if we replace this RC by transformer, then it will be called as a transformer coupled class A power amplifier. But here we are only using a resistor, so that it is called as a direct coupled class A power amplifier. So only to distinguish it from the transformer coupled power amplifier, we are calling it as a direct coupled class A power amplifier. तो इसे डायरेक्ट कपल्ड क्लास ए पावर एम्पलीफायर बोला जा रहा है सिर्फ इसलिए बिकॉज यहाँ पे हम लोगों ने कोई भी ट्रांसफार्मर का यूज नहीं किया है कपलिंग करने के लिए. Now, why it is called as a power amplifier? It is called as a power amplifier because the signals handled by the power amplifier circuits are in the range of volts. So, signals handled by power amplifier are in range of volts as compared to our small signal amplifiers. In small signal amplifiers, the input signals handled are in the range of millivolts or sometimes in microvolts also. Also here the transistors we have used here is a power transistors, and the power transistor is different with our conventional transistor is that in a small signal amplifier the transistor handles small signals, but in power amplifier the transistor, that is a power transistor, it will handle the voltages and hence the power dissipation is in the range of few watts. So it is capable of operating in the range of few watts. So I will again write, we are using power transistor. Power transistor is used and is capable for operating in range of few watts. Now, as it is a class A power amplifier, so we will obtain the output as I have drawn previously. So we will obtain the output. Again I will draw the input and the output signal. So this is our input and this will be the amplified output. 360 degree, 0, 0, and here also 360 degree. Now the point is here I have not drawn, point to be remembered, here I have not drawn 180 degree phase shifted output. Just to compare, just for a reference, I have drawn here input and the output signal. Okay, so in class A power amplifier, the transistor bias and the amplitude of the input signals are such that the output current flows for the complete cycle. The output current flows for the complete cycle, that is a 360 degree of the input cycle. Hence, we will get a complete cycle at the output with respect to the input signal. जैसा इनपुट आ रहा है वैसा ही हमें आउटपुट में मिलेगा. यहाँ पे भी 360 डिग्री का इनपुट है तो आउटपुट भी हमें 360 डिग्री का ही मिलेगा. Now how to achieve this condition? Which condition? This same condition. Means the output is following the input. Now how to achieve this condition that the output will be obtained for a complete 360 degree? In order to achieve this condition, we have to locate the Q point or the operating point on the AC load line. So we have to locate the operating point or a Q point on the AC load line at exactly at the center point. But it is practically very difficult. Practically, to maintain the Q point exactly at the center of the AC load line is very difficult. So we will try to locate it just near to the center of the AC load line. Now this complete figure is showing the AC load line and the variation of the collector current and the collector to emitter voltage. So once again I will repeat. So in class A power amplifier, the Q point is located at the center of the AC load line. So we will get the output for a complete 360 degree of the input signal. Now in this diagram, the variations of collector current IC means on this y-axis and the variations of collector to emitter voltage on the x-axis are such that these values of IC and VCE are varying above and below their Q points for the maximum output. So ideally the value of collector current can vary from its Q point, that is ICQ, to its saturation value, that is IC sat, and that is all equals to twice ICQ, and down to its cutoff value, that is 0. Similarly, the collector to emitter voltage can vary from its Q point value, that is VCQ, to its saturation value VCE sat, and that is whole equals to twice of ICEQ, and down to its cutoff value, that is equals to 0. So now we will understand what is the meaning of variations in this IC values. So whatever I have said, we will try to understand from this diagram. So the value of collector current, so on this x-axis we have the collector, on the y-axis we have the collector current. On the x-axis we have collector to emitter voltage. Now this collector current is varying from this Q value. So this is Q value. This value is the Q value. From this center value we have marked over here, this is a Q value for IC. So the collector current is varying from the value ICQ to the saturation value, that is twice of ICQ, and down to 0. So the variations are from 0 to ICQ to twice of ICQ. So this is total is twice of ICQ and that is equal to the saturation value. तो यहाँ पे जो कलेक्टर करंट है, कलेक्टर करंट वैरी हो रहा है Q पॉइंट से, ओके, Q पॉइंट से वैरी हो रहा है ट्वाइस ऑफ ICQ. सो ये जो ट्वाइस ऑफ ICQ है वही उसका सैचुरेशन वैल्यू है, और इस पॉइंट से लेके वो 0 पॉइंट यानी कट ऑफ पॉइंट तक वेरी कर रहा है, यानी ये पॉइंट. सो टोटल एम्पलीट्यूड कितना हुआ इस करंट का, 0 से ICQ, ICQ से ट्वाइस ICQ. मींस ये जो डिस्टेंस है इस पॉइंट से लेकर इस पॉइंट तक डिस्टेंस है ICQ, और इस पॉइंट से लेके इस पॉइंट तक का भी डिस्टेंस है ICQ. सो टोटल डिस्टेंस कितना हुआ, ट्वाइस ऑफ ICQ. सो हमारा कलेक्टर करंट वैरी हो रहा है Q पॉइंट से फ्रॉम 0 टू ट्वाइस ऑफ ICQ. उसी तरह से कलेक्टर टू एमिटर वोल्टेज जो कि हमारा एक्स एक्सिस पे है वो भी वैरी हो रहा है 0 यानी कट ऑफ से लेके ट्वाइस ऑफ VCEQ. इसको VCEQ इसलिए बोला गया है बिकॉज ये Q पॉइंट है हमारा, यानी ऑपरेटिंग पॉइंट या फिर क्यूसेंट पॉइंट. तो क्यूसेंट पॉइंट हमारा इस पॉइंट पे आ जाएगा. तो इस पॉइंट को बिकॉज यहाँ पे एक्सिस है VCE का, इसलिए इसको बोला गया VCEQ. अब वेरिएशंस है, हम लोग अगर लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में जाएंगे तो 0 है और राइट हैंड साइड पे जाएंगे तो ट्वाइस ऑफ VCEQ. तो ये जो वैल्यू है फ्रॉम Q टू दिस सम वैल्यू दैट इज VCEQ, एंड फ्रॉम दिस to this again VCEQ. So this point will be twice of VCEQ. So collector to emitter voltage जो है वो वैरी हो रहा है हमारा 0 से लेके VCEQ, VCEQ से लेके twice of VCEQ. So both collector current और हमारा collector to emitter voltage दोनों के वेरिएशंस maximum saturation points are at twice of ICQ and twice of VCEQ. इतने वैरी हो रहे from 0 to twice of VCEQ, from 0 to twice of ICQ. तो ये दोनों पॉइंट्स twice ICQ and twice VCEQ ये सैचुरेशन पॉइंट्स है ना, इससे ज्यादा उसकी वेरिएशंस नहीं होने वाले हैं. सो 0 से सैचुरेशन पॉइंट तक वैरी होंगे, 0 से सैचुरेशन पॉइंट तक वैरी होगा कलेक्टर करंट एंड हमारा कलेक्टर टू एमिटर वोल्टेज. नाउ द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू और पीक वैल्यू ऑफ कलेक्टर करंट इज ICQ एंड फॉर VC इट इज VCQ. तो मैक्सिमम वैल्यू कितनी हो सकती है इसकी, अगर हम लोग सिर्फ पॉजिटिव या फिर सिर्फ नेगेटिव पीक अगर हम लोग कंसिडर करें तो उसका जो वैल्यू होगा वो होगा ICQ, यानी यहां से लेके यहां तक ये जो डिस्टेंस है मैक्सिमम डिस्टेंस वो होगा ICQ, यहां से लेके यहां तक डिस्टेंस होगा ICQ. सिमिलरली वोल्टेज इस पॉइंट से लेके इस पॉइंट तक होगा VCEQ, और इस पॉइंट से इस पॉइंट तक मैक्सिमम वोल्टेज होगा VCQ. तो ये इसके मैक्सिमम और पीक वैल्यूज फॉर बोथ पॉजिटिव साइकिल्स एंड फॉर द नेगेटिव साइकिल्स. सो इट इज द मैक्सिमम और द largest signal possible from class A power amplifiers. So 360 degree output is the maximum output possible from a class A power amplifier. Now if the signal is too large and amplifier is driven further, if the input signal is too large and amplifier is driven further, at that time what will happen, clipping will take place. So now we will see the example of clipping. Now we will try to understand what is the meaning of clipping. Say this is our collector current and this is our voltage VCE. Now if the signal is too large, then the amplifier is driven, and in such condition the amplifier will clip at cutoff and saturation point. Means if this input signal is too large, then what will happen, we will obtain output like this. So this portion, actually it should be here, but now this is our saturation points. This is 0, this is twice VCEQ, and this is twice ICQ. Now these 2 points are maximum points, and now the input signal has been increased, and this is our operating point Q. So what will happen? Actually we should get like this. This is our standard signal. But now, because input signal is too large, the signal will be again amplified. So this collector current is like this. This dotted line is the output when the collector current, when the input is too large, and this is our voltage swing. Now what will happen? These are saturation point, so we will get output like this. So we will have the clipping. So we will not get this output. We will not get this. We will not get this. So there is a chance that both the peaks will be clipped, or either this or either this. Either this or this. So it is a possible that if the input signal is too large, then the positive and negative cycles will clip at some point greater than the saturation point. Same case for the voltage also. So यहाँ पे ऐसा हो रहा है कि अगर जरूरत से ज्यादा हम लोगों ने इनपुट दे दिया तो जो हमारा आउटपुट मिल रहा है वो क्लिप हो जाएगा, उसका पॉजिटिव पीक भी कट हो जाएगा और उसका नेगेटिव साइकिल भी क्लिप या फिर कट हो जाएगा. ये करंट का भी कट हो जाएगा और हमारा वोल्टेज का भी कट हो जाएगा. तो जो हमें एक्चुअली आउटपुट मिलना चाहिए था कुछ इस तरह से, तो अभी हमें आउटपुट मिलेगा ऐसा. सो दिस शेडेड पोर्शन विल बी आवर आउटपुट when our input is very large. This is called as clipping at cutoff and saturation. So this is clipping at saturation, this is clipping at cutoff. Now we will discuss the working. So the output of the class, so in the output current in the class A amplifier is flowing for the entire cycle of the AC input. Output is flowing for the complete AC input. The output current flows during the entire cycle of the AC input. This first point to be remembered. Now let us see how it is happening. So whenever we are giving the input to this amplifier, because of this biasing, this junction is forward biased, base to emitter junction is forward biased. As the base to emitter junction is forward biased, the base current will flow, and now together with the base current we have the input. Now as the base current is flowing, the collector current is also flowing, and we will get the voltage at point this VC, that is equals to IC into RC, and that will be our output amplified voltage. Because of this VCC we will get IC, and because of this IC the voltage across this RC is equals to VC. VC is equals to IC multiplied by RC. That is our output voltage. Now there is a very large current gain. Small rise in the base current, leads to an exponential increase in the collector current, and hence we will get a 180-degree phase shift in the output collector current. Now the operation of this overall amplifier is restricted to very small region of the AC load line. So if this is the AC load line, then the operation is restricted to a very small regions, very small central region of the AC load line, and it is because to operate this amplifier in the linear region of the AC load line. And if it is not happening, then it may be a chance that the Q point gets shifted, then we will get a distortion. Now what happens if we give the large signal input, very large signal input? So if there is excessive large signal input, then there is a chance that the Q point may shift into some non-linear region, and that non-linear regions may be near to the saturation region or cutoff region. Means the non-linear regions will may be located somewhere above the saturation and below the cutoff region, and hence they will produce a amplitude distortion. Now let us understand what is amplitude distortion. See, suppose this solid black line is the desired output, but if the signal is large, now if the signal is excessively large, then this Q point will be shifted towards saturation or towards cutoff. So this dotted line will be the output, but because of the restrictions in the VCC and our point is located at the center of load line, then what will happen? We will get only this much. Only this much will be the output, and this portion will be clipped off. This portion will be clipped off. This portion is clipped from the saturation point, and this portion will be clipped from the cutoff point. So what is our actual output? Our actual output will be now like this. So this is our output. To make it more clear, so this is our output. Why this is our output? Because the linear operation is restricted to this, but as the Q point is shifting because of the large signal input, it will be not be able to amplify the peaks. Means यहाँ पे ऐसा हो रहा है कि अगर हम लोगों ने जरूरत से ज्यादा इनपुट दे दिया, बट हमारा जो Q पॉइंट है वो सेंटर ऑफ द AC लोड लाइन है, जरूरत से ज्यादा इनपुट देने की वजह से हमारा Q पॉइंट जो है एक तो सैचुरेशन की तरफ शिफ्ट हो जाएगा या फिर कट ऑफ की तरफ शिफ्ट हो जाएगा. तो ऐसे शिफ्टिंग की वजह से ये जो ऊपर के जो पीक्स है, पॉजिटिव साइकिल का पीक और नेगेटिव साइकिल का पीक कट हो जाएगा, क्लिप हो जाएगा, और इसको हम कहेंगे एम्पलीट्यूड डिस्टॉर्शन. This is called as amplitude distortion. And why we are getting only this much output? Because it is limited by the value of VCC. It is limited by the value of VCC. So if the VCC is 12 volt or 15 volt or say 9 volt, then the maximum swing will be 9 volt or 12 volt or 15 volt, depending upon the value of VCC. Now as the transistor is operating in this linear region, hence the output waveform is almost similar to the input waveform. The input and output, both the waveforms are similar. Actually, as it is a single stage common emitter amplifier, this is the input, so we will get 180-degree phase shifted output like this. But if you continue this, then this portion is similar to that our input. This is input and this is 180-degree phase shift output, because we are using a common emitter amplifier. But if we use two stages, this is first stage and this is a second stage. Then whatever we are applying in the input, we will get amplified at the output. This is because the first stage will produce a phase shift of 180 degree. The second stage will produce the phase shift of 110 degree, 80 degree. Both addition, total phase shift will be 360 degree. So whatever is the input, we will get the same output, amplified output. No phase difference if even number of stages are used, and 180 degree phase shift if odd stages are used. The AC power output per transistor is very smaller because there are losses in this resistor. So to avoid these losses, we generally use a transformer coupling. So overall, the AC power output per transistor is very small. First, because we are getting output for all complete cycle. There are two reasons why the AC output power per transistor is small. First reason is that output available always means for all the 360 degree cycle the output is available. Second, power losses at resistors RC and R1, R2. So the AC power output per transistor means here we are using only single transistor. In multi-stage we will use two or more than two transistors. So the overall AC power output per transistor is smaller just because क्योंकि यहाँ पे हम लोगों को जो आउटपुट मिल रहा है वो कंटिन्यूसली मिल रहा है. सो जब आउटपुट हमें कंटिन्यूस मिलेगा तो पावर डिसिपेशन ज्यादा होगा. पावर डिसिपेशन ज्यादा हो रहा है तो हमारा ओवरऑल आउटपुट कम हो रहा है. और इसमें जो पावर लॉसेस भी हो रहे हैं बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रेजिस्टर्स. Hence the overall AC power output is smaller. Now next point we will discuss the efficiency, that is the overall efficiency. The overall efficiency is the ratio of AC power delivered to the load to the total power supplied by the DC source. AC power delivered to the load, total power supplied by the DC source. So we'll write mathematically as eta 0 means overall efficiency. It is equals to AC power delivered to load divided by total power supplied by the DC source. For solving it, we get a average AC output power means the average AC power at the output divided by the average DC input power. The maximum efficiency fed with the series fed resistor. Now the maximum efficiency with the series fed resistor is we can write maximum efficiency is approximately equals to 25%. Now why the efficiency is very less? The efficiency is very less because our transistor is continuously working, it is continuously on, and as it is continuously working the efficiency gets reduced. So यहाँ पे हम लोग ओवरऑल एफिशिएंसी का फॉर्मूला लिख रहे हैं. ओवरऑल एफिशिएंसी इस क्लास ए पावर एम्पलीफायर की कितनी होती है? सो एक रेशियो है जिसका फॉर्मूला है एवरेज एसी पावर आउटपुट एवरेज डीसी इनपुट. ये उसका ओवरऑल एफिशिएंसी का फॉर्मूला है. और जो मैक्सिमम इसकी एफिशिएंसी होती है वो अराउंड 25% ही होती है बिकॉज हमारा जो ट्रांजिस्टर है वो कंटिन्यूसली ऑन है फॉर एवरी इंस्टेंट ऑफ द इनपुट आवर ट्रांजिस्टर इज कंटिन्यूसली ऑन, और जब चीज कोई कंटिन्यूसली ऑन होती है, वर्किंग में रहती है, तो उसकी एफिशिएंसी धीरे धीरे कम हो जाती है. Now here we have used a resistive load. So if the resistive load is used, so the maximum efficiency is 25% for resistive load. Now if we replace this direct coupled, this is the direct coupled power amplifier. If you replace the direct coupled power amplifier by transformer coupling, if we use a transformer coupling, means at the point of this, if we use a transformer like this, and if we get output at here, then the overall efficiency can be increased to 50%. The maximum efficiency can be increased to 50% by using the transformer coupling. Now last point is the collector efficiency. What is the efficiency at the output terminal of this transistor? Again, it is the ratio of AC power delivered to this load divided by the power supplied by the DC source only to the transistor, and we are not saying about this resistors. Power supplied by the DC source, that is VCC, to the transistor. So by simplifying it again, collector efficiency is the ratio of average AC output power, divided by average DC input power to the transistor. DC power जो ट्रांजिस्टर को दिया जा रहा है, दैट इज इनपुट, और कितना हमें AC आउटपुट इस RL के अक्रॉस मिलेगा, उसका जो रेशियो है उसे हम कहेंगे कलेक्टर एफिशिएंसी. सो प्रीवियसली हम लोगों ने जो पढ़ा था वो ओवरऑल एफिशिएंसी था. ओवरऑल एफिशिएंसी में फर्क सिर्फ इतना ही था कि डिनोमिनेटर में जो सोर्स था, जो हमारा जो डीसी सोर्स था, वो पूरे सर्किट को कितना पावर सप्लाई कर रहा है, और कलेक्टर एफिशिएंसी यानी ये सिर्फ ट्रांजिस्टर को कितना पावर सप्लाई कर रहा है. ओके, सो द मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल वैल्यू ऑफ द कलेक्टर एफिशिएंसी इफ इट इज अ सीरीज फेड resistive load, the maximum efficiency is approximately 50%. So this is all about the class A power amplifier and its working, and whatever points we have discussed, its characteristics, features. Means once again I will summarize. Class A power amplifier is the amplifier in which we will get the output for a complete cycle of the AC input. We are getting the output for a complete cycle of the AC input. Efficiency is very, very less, approximately 25%. And if we are using a transformer coupling, then the efficiency will be maximum up to 50%. Power losses are there because of this RC, R1 and R2, of course. And as the circuit is continuously on for the input cycles, the overall efficiency reduces to 25% only. So now we will discuss further the voltage gain, current gain and power gain, and power relations for class A amplifier, and how we will calculate the overall and collector efficiency of class A amplifier. That will be discussed in further.